Kaminsky, and this is an edition of Rediscovering China. Today we're at the car show, but it's not only the cars that are on display today. This place is full of international models, fresh faces to sell these cars, make them look glamorous. Today, you and I are going to find the stories and the lives of what it's like to be this face, to sell these things, the hot and maybe not so hot ways of this industry. So come with me, I'm going to take you behind the scenes and see what it's really like. Let's go. Ah! Let's go. So these modeling faces aren't only used for car shows or fashion catwalks or something like that. Our faces get used for everything. Everything from magazines to billboards to mobile phones to makeup to products to scarves to shoes to everything. More and more foreign faces wanted. So these models get booked for their time by the hour. Very expensive hour for some of them. But they're there to help sell the product because maybe without them this would just be some cars. But the model adds something to it. It complements them. It helps you build your image, which is the whole purpose of why you have the model for the product. The image, the look, the desire, the need.
With China opening up and reform policies being introduced in the late 1970s, the Chinese market took a prosperous turn. Many manufacturers resumed their production, while overseas companies rushed to China to sell their products to this huge market. Both local stores and department stores began to stock their shelves with a variety of products. This change led to difficulties in both the promotion of the products and in the choosing of the products. With such fierce commercial competition, advertisements became inevitable. The ad sales volume was on the rise from 1981 to 1985. It was the beginning of the Chinese modeling industry's uprise.
Here we are at the Shanghai Garment Play Art Group. This was the first place in China to have any sort of performance art or modeling. Why don't we go into the agency and check it out? Come on.
This lady named Xu Ping.
Xu Ping.
Yeah, at the beginning of the fashion show, because of he dressed the garments without sleeves. His mother angry. Her mother angry. Yeah. Not allowed to show. So we changed all the garments.
Everybody.
Yeah, everybody changed.
Originally, the dresses had short sleeves, the Western dresses. However, this lady here, during that time, her mother wasn't so happy with her having to wear something that would show her arms. So they had to change all the garments for the ladies into more of a traditional Oriental wear, Chinese wear. Cover the clothes, cover the arms. Very, very different than how it is today. So someone like me with my arms open like this would not be allowed to be on stage like that as a model. Very different compared to what it is now.
Yes, this is the first time.
In the early 1980s, Chinese people began to shed their common blue uniform-like clothing. Being increasingly fascinated with beauty and color, the extroverts of China began to wear more fashionable clothes, allowing for more self-expression. At that time, you would find some brave girls showing off their beautiful clothes in public places, gallivanting as models would do in a fashion show today. This parade was done in more of a fun manner, but had much influence upon the public's attitude towards both fashion and modeling. The Chinese people were ready for a makeover.
改革开放以后呢，有这个服装的这种推介，就服装啊怎么展示啊。那么这个时候呢，就看了国外的一些片子以后，他们怎么拿一些模特呀来表演呢？那么在这种情况下呢，可能有一些服装厂啊、服装公司啊，就成立了一些表演队。
那种翻译说呢，还局限于还不是说所谓的专业灯光、专业 T 台，基本找的是一个活动的一个什么礼堂啊，或者一个小的会议室啊，可以说嘉宾可能来那时候不是说那倒是专业性的，倒是就是那些嘉宾大多什么呢？因为那时候是外贸，主要有的呢就是一些相关的这些的订货，到场子里看不了什么，那是只有给2、3个嘉宾，你知道吧？来搞一场小的秀，你知道吧？那时候我记得反正这个很多是一个人恨不得穿10件8件的，啊，完一天基本上是可以说是那时候工作就是这个。基本上可以说一天行程有时7到8场。
At that time, catwalking even became a sort of entertainment like movies and soccer matches would be today. It did not take long to gain popularity, as there were not many forms of entertainment to choose from during those days.
This is the first time, and now in the 1990s.
Now this is the 1990s.
Yeah.
And this is kind of the first time that you began to have some faces that were famous.
Yeah.
Is that right? Yeah. Pointed out a few famous faces that are famous that maybe have gone on to do other things in the agencies or coach or something like that, own their own agencies, probably start their own clothing lines as well. And now?
2000?
Now 2000.
No.
2000. Wow. Color and different looks and makeup and hair. So different. Let's look at this. Yeah. So different. As you can see, in China, the standards are very, very different than what they are in North America. China hasn't had the history that North America has. There was a lot of restrictions on what the women could wear and couldn't wear, the skin they could show, for safety, for security reasons, for traditional reasons. In North America, we've had a lot more freedom to develop these things, these ideas, these images, and explore and be creative. The Chinese are just coming into this now, especially with all the foreigners coming into China and wanting to be professional in this market. There's a lot of pressure on the Chinese people to perform and to be at that high standard that we're all expecting. They're doing very well and they're learning very fast. And I believe the China fashion industry will be leading. After 20 years of development, China has built many skyscrapers as high as those in New York City. Beijing and Shanghai have installed subway systems as complex as those in London. The number of Chinese internet users comes in at second place, right underneath the United States. As China grows and more communication channels